Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today at this press conference marking the beginning of National Work Zone Awareness Week. We're honored to have representatives from the Louisiana State Police, Superintendent Colonel Robert Hodges, the Federal Highway Administration, Louisiana Division Administrator Mindy Roberson, and the Louisiana Highway Safety Commission, Executive Director Lisa Freeman. National Work Zone Awareness Week aims to raise public awareness about the importance of work zone safety. The theme for this year's campaign is Work Zones are temporary. Actions behind the wheel can last forever. It reminds us that our driving behavior in work zones have long-lasting consequences. According to the National Work Zone Safety Information Clearinghouse, there were 10 deaths in Louisiana work zones in 2022 alone. There were 895 fatalities nationwide. This statistic, more than anything else, highlights the need for increased work zone safety. In honor of those who have lost their lives in work zones, DOTD has set up a safety cone memorial right behind me. This tribute is intended to serve as a powerful reminder of the sacrifices made by workers to improve our public roadways and transportation infrastructure. DOTD's top priority is the safety of both motorists and workers in the work zone, and it is imperative that we come together and make work zones safer for all. Here are some tips that all motorists should be mindful of when driving, especially through work zones. Number one, give full attention to the roadway. Pay close attention to signs and work zone flaggers. Obey posted speed limits. Avoid tailgating. Don't drink and drive. Wear your seat belts. Eliminate distractions, especially with cell phones. DOTD, along with transportation agencies nationwide, will participate in Go Orange Day on Wednesday, April 17th. This is an opportunity to demonstrate solidarity for work zone safety, and we encourage the public to join us and show support. National Work Zone Safety Awareness Week is a collaborative effort among the American Association of State Highway Transportation Officials, the Federal Highway Administration, and the American Traffic Safety Services Association. Together, we can make a difference in ensuring the safety of both motorists and workers in work zones. Let's work together to make our roads safer for everyone. Thank you all for coming out today, and I'm going to turn it over to Mindy Roberson for some additional comments.
Good afternoon. I'm Mindy Roberson. I'm the Division Administrator for the Louisiana Division of the Federal Highway Administration. I'm here today on behalf of Secretary Pete Buttigieg and Federal Highway Administration's Administrator Shaylin Bott. I'd like to start by thanking Louisiana Department of Transportation for inviting us to this event and for all their efforts in organizing this event and bringing focus to this issue. Construction workers on our roads, our bridges, and our highways face some of the toughest working conditions that many of us take for granted. They work in all types of weather, with oncoming traffic, and with unknown hazards. It's important to note that speed plays a significant factor in work zone related fatalities. To address this, safe speeds is a key part of the United States Department of Transportation's National Roadway Safety Strategy. We owe our nation's highway construction workers a huge debt of gratitude for helping to maintain and improve the transportation network that millions of Americans rely upon each and every day. We can and we must take this opportunity to remind individuals of the need to be careful when traveling through work zones. As construction season is ramping up this year, we hope drivers will slow down, stay alert, and help us to protect the people who work to build and maintain our roadways. In closing, FHWA is proud to participate in this year's event and to join others in Louisiana and throughout our country who are committed to improving safety for those in work zones and for all other road users, not just during National Work Zone Awareness Week, but throughout the year. And with that, I'd like to thank you, and I'll turn it over to Colonel Hodges.
Good afternoon. I'm Colonel Robert Hodges, the 27th Superintendent of Louisiana State Police. As we welcome National Work Zone Awareness Week, Louisiana State Police would like to remind drivers to be careful when driving through construction zones. Our troopers work in close collaboration with our DOTD partners to reduce crashes and ensure safe conditions for workers and motorists traveling through the active work zones in Louisiana. Through targeted public education, enforcement details, and safety campaigns, we strive to create a safe working environment while improving Louisiana's transportation infrastructure. Having an LSP presence in DOTD highway work zones increases safety of both construction workers and drivers. Our troopers are proactive in and around work zones, enforcing safety measures that also collaborate closely with construction crews to give early warnings and guidance to drivers approaching those work zones. It is important to remember that many workers in these construction zones are working just inches away from passing vehicles. Remember to stay alert while driving, never drive impaired, and prioritize safety for everyone on the road. Let's all do our part to make our roadways safer. To be successful, we must do it together as one team, one dream, and one Louisiana. Thank you. I'll turn it over to Lisa, Highway Safety Executive Director.
Good afternoon. What a beautiful day for us to gather, and we certainly don't want to take a weather-perfect day like this for granted. Although in life, there are so many things that we do take for granted, and what those things are often the most routine aspects of our human experience, like getting from one point to another. And it's our roads and our highways that connect us to one another every day, allowing us to get to school or to work, to have goods and services delivered. Transportation is what gets us all the necessary things for life and for a good quality of life. And because millions of drivers use our roads, it's understandable that in due time, our roads need repairing, like any other thing that we use each and every day. Luckily, we have the benefit of infrastructure in place to make repairs to roads and to bridges when that time comes. But with those improvements and maintenance projects, there's definitely some give and take. We understand that when road work is happening, it slows the speed of traffic temporarily. Now, as long as everyone realizes the importance of what's taking place, then everything goes smoothly. But when drivers become impatient or don't react appropriately to these traffic situations, unfortunately, that's when there are life-threatening consequences. Since 2012, in Louisiana, 111 people, 111 have died in work zone crashes. That means drivers, passengers, and pedestrians. It means the very people that we're focusing on today, our highway workers, people who quite literally are on the front line of duty. We often refer to nurses, firemen, and our police officers as our frontline workers, our frontline heroes, and they most certainly are. But I would like to say that the people in our work zones fixing a hazard or clearing an obstruction are no different. And they are heroes who deserve our respect and our cooperation. When there's an absence of respect and mindfulness and a lack of cooperation by drivers in a work zone, that's when consequences are fatal, as this year's theme bears out. Louisiana is currently down 17 fatal work zone crashes in 2021 to 6 in 2022. But the loss of those 6, in fact, any loss of our own people, is unacceptable. We can do better. We can do better. And the way toward better is really simple. It's what the Secretary said. It's strictly about showing respect and cooperation, slowing down to the speed limit or to the flow of traffic, eliminating distractions, whatever they are, and recognizing that at 50 miles an hour, a vehicle travels the length of a football field in 5 seconds, which is the average time that a distracted driver takes their eyes off of a road, usually to send or receive a text message. These are the common sense countermeasures to work zone fatalities. It's the same common sense that encourages us to wear our seatbelts and not drive impaired. Giving our roadway workers the time and the space they require is simple, but it's a life-altering solution to a problem that's too tragically real, as you can see behind us. You know, poets and pastors have reflected on tragic loss using these words, quote, "Those who died yesterday had plans for this morning, and those who died this morning had plans for tonight. Don't take their lives for granted. In the blink of an eye, everything can change," unquote. By speaking to this public safety issue today, we honor the men and the women in Louisiana who put themselves at risk every day to help improve our lives. Most importantly, we demonstrate today that we do not take them for granted. And we show that gratitude. We show our gratitude by ensuring they go home at the end of each day and the end of each shift. Thank you. I'll turn it back over to the Secretary. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. In closing, I once again want to thank Colonel Hodges, Lisa Freeman, and Mindy Roberson for coming out here today. Please, everyone, pay attention, stay alert, and let's all drive safely and make certain that everyone makes it home alive. Thank you very much. Thank you.